Hi everyone, Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm back here for another speed build, and today I'm here for my attempt at SpringSims' July build challenge. So you may have seen the speed build that I did of his June build challenge, which was last month, which was the modern family home. And there is a speed build up on the channel if you want to go ahead and check that out. And you can also head over to the gallery to go ahead and download that one and this one. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1, or if you like to go and use the hashtag, you can use it, which is Spring Builds, and then you can use that to go ahead and see my creations and everybody else's creations for the 2 months that he's done it for so far. So today's theme is just, the theme was cottage, a cottage in other words, and I thought of it as being kind of like a traditional style, and also kind of some aspects of a beachy sort of theme as well. You may see that from when we get inside. I think the flooring that I use kind of replicates a beachy theme, I think, the wood flooring that I use, so you'll see that a little bit later. In terms of colour schemes and everything, I went with neutral colour scheme, which is something that I really love, and I use it probably way too much, but it is a really good one to use, so I went ahead and did that in today's build. So yeah, and how long did this take me? I think it was about 2 hours it took me, which is maybe a little bit long for a sized home like this, but I think it was well worth it in the end. I condensed it down to about 20 minutes, and then I cut out some boring bits like when I was doing the landscaping and trying to get the shape of the house right, and that kind of condensed it down much further actually. So we're just working on the landscaping right now, and one thing I actually learned not too long ago actually from Hatsi was that there is a shortcut you can use, well not really a shortcut, like kind of like a cheat sort of thing, where in items, because some items do this, where you click it out of the catalogue, you place it down, and then it places down, and some of them are kind of like, a lot of plants actually do this, where you would kind of place the plant down and then it'll bring up another one which is in your kind of thing, if that makes sense. I don't really know what I'm talking about here, but so say for example rocks, you have to go into the catalogue each time, click one, place it, click one, place it. But if you actually click it, hold shift, you don't have to keep going back and back and back, so it just makes it a little bit easier. I saw her talking about it in one of her previous speed builds, and I'm so glad I've seen that, because it's saved me so much time, and I'm probably the only one who didn't know that, because it's probably been there for quite a long time, but I'm glad to find out about that, because that'll probably make it, when it comes to landscaping, a lot more easier. So another thing I did with this home as well, one thing that I didn't actually have on the picture was kind of like a feature wall, but I did go ahead and add that in, as you will see from the front of the house there, and also on the side porch. I added in a stone kind of feature wall, accent wall sort of thing, and which, like I said, wasn't on the actual picture itself, but you can actually, the rules of the challenge is that you'd have unlimited simoleons, you have to keep the layout inside the same, but then everything else in terms of colours, the type of things you use in the house can all be what you want. So I went ahead and did a feature wall, because it just thought it looked a little bit nice, because when I looked at it myself, after I didn't put the feature wall in, it kind of looked a little bit boring and just a little bit plain, so I went ahead and did that in, and I thought it looked really great. And also it's the same stone as the pillars that I used, or the columns, whatever you call them, around the porches, so I thought that was really great, because it kind of blends in nicely with that. So another thing I did with this build was actually use a lot of parenthood items, as you can see here, on the outside as well. I used quite a few of those windows that we got with the well, all of them basically. I think all of them are parenthood windows, both the two types that we got with the pack. And as you can see here, the kitchen, I use a lot of items from this pack as well, and it's really good, this pack. I use it all the time now. Literally all of my kitchens are using parenthood items. It's just such a great pack. I love all the things we've got with the kitchen, like the sunken in sink into the counters, looks really great. I love the longer cabinet that we get as well, because as you can see, it's got, like, well, as you can see in the left hand corner there, next to the stove, the cabinet there, which has got all the plates on and stuff, looks really nice, and it just places down nicely on the counter below it. Below it. So I use that quite a lot as well. And also the fridge is really great. I love the modern style to it, and it doesn't like leave a gap in between the counters, which is something that I think that bothered quite a lot of simmers actually, but it just works really great. So really happy with all the items I got in that pack, and you'll see me using this a couple of times today. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, also in the living room I used it. That big rug that we got with the pack, I haven't used it yet until today's video, which is great. I've always thought it was a little bit too big, and I couldn't really find anywhere where I've used it, but in today's build the living room was a perfect size to actually go ahead and use that, which was great. So I'm working on this bathroom area here. Now as you see, it's got like a doorway going through into the other section of the bathroom. Now in the floor plan that was actually two separate rooms, and what I was going to go ahead and do was actually make the one on the right there, which doesn't have the window, I was going to make that kind of like a walk-in wardrobe sort of thing for the bedroom. But one thing I forgot really was that I actually had one of those walk-in wardrobes from Get Together in the bedroom, so I didn't go ahead and do that because I thought having two and also a dresser seemed a little bit too much. So I went ahead and just made it into one bathroom with a kind of like separated it off a little bit, so you've got your shower and your toilet on one side and the sink on the other, and again I used items there from Parenthood. There's also another bathroom in this home as well. I should have said this at the beginning, but it is two bathrooms and one bedroom. Probably wasn't necessary to have that smaller bathroom there next to the bedroom, but you know, I think that's alright. So we're just working on the bedroom here, and you may see that beachy theme sort of from the flooring. I don't really know what type of theme that's going for in terms, I think it's kind of like a little bit, I don't know if it'd be industrial, I don't know, I don't think so, no, I don't know. But I don't know, I just kind of thought of a beachy theme. And the picture itself looked a little bit beachy. I know it wasn't in a beachy area, but it kind of just looked like it. So like I said, we're working on the bedroom here, just doing a couple of things. This bedroom, you know, wasn't too overpacked in terms of the decorations. It was fairly simple, I think. It didn't go too overkill with everything, and I thought it looked pretty nice. I think I might have went a little bit overkill with the landscape in there at the start, but I think that was kind of nice how it looked. And it kind of replicated the landscape in itself from the picture, how it has that what's it called, the pathway, I don't know how I forgot that word, the pathway going up to the front door kind of replicates the, like that was in the picture. And I did change the landscaping up slightly from the picture. I mean, I did do another pathway going over to the side porch, which wasn't in the picture itself where I was working from. And also the picture had a kind of like a seat, like a two-person seater, like park bench sort of thing on the pathway up to the front door, and I didn't really like how that looked in terms of what it would look like in game, so I didn't go ahead and do that. And also, if you like to go ahead and see what I'm actually talking about here, it might be useful if you know what the picture looks like, then you can head over to SpringSims' Twitter page, just his username on Twitter is spring_sims, and you can go ahead and see that it is his pinned tweet, at least at the time I'm doing this voiceover, so it should be pretty easy to see. And if you'd like to go ahead and try this out yourself, I really recommend you go and do it. Like I said, I did the one last month, and I'm doing the one this month as well, and hopefully I'll do the ones in the future, unless they're really difficult. And yeah, so it's a really fun thing to do, just another way to kind of improve your building skills. I get that question asked quite a lot, is how do you like improve your building skills? And I'm not really saying I'm a good builder. I don't really think I'm that great compared to other people. It's definitely much better than I was, you know, compared to a year ago. And it's literally just making sure you're doing builds all the time. If you get free time, just go ahead and do a build. You don't have to make it as a speed build, but you know, just practicing, trying new things, watching speed builds. I watch so many speed builds just to see what other people are doing, how they are using items in different unique creative ways, and that kind of inspires me to try new things. And that's always a really good way to go ahead and actually, you know, improve your building skills, is by watching other people do their speed builds. And I've actually, well, I just said there a minute ago, you don't have to do it as a speed build, but one thing I've started doing now is, it was actually from a friend who actually did a group collab with a long time ago, Lady Smitten, or Smitten, I don't know how, I think it's Smitten, yeah, Lady Smitten, that's it. I don't know how to pronounce that second part. Anyway, so yeah, she actually suggested, it was quite a long time ago in her one of her builds, is that she said that she kind of just, anything she does now, she records. And I think it's a really good idea, because, you know, you never know how a build is going to turn out. It could, you know, go really bad and then you just don't upload the video. But there might be that chance that it goes really well and you wish, oh, I wish I recorded that for a video. So now I'll always record everything I do. Even if it's not intended for a build, you never know how it's going to turn out, so I always do that. And even for us creative sims as well, I do that too. And yeah, so yeah, like I said, that was actually part of a build collab I did a little while ago. It was called the Build a Home collab I did with some people from the Sims Amino app, including her. And it's basically, I did a master bedroom build for it. It was a room build video, but we all kind of had a room to do, and then we kind of put it into a house that Simulator 11, I think it's username, I think it was 11 on the end, built. And yeah, I think that was over maybe a year ago now. I've been on the Sims Amino for like literally over a year now. It was early June after it was from Sims X's video about it. Then I joined, and now I never would have guessed that I would be on the staff team for the Sims Amino app. And if you're not familiar with Amino, it's basically somewhere that you can create a social media kind of like app, basically, for a particular interest that you have. So there's the Sims Amino app. We also have the Urban Sims X Amino app as well, which Jen created herself, and I'm a leader on that, just because of the, when she had Crixus and everything. So I helped her I basically manage that place now. It's a little bit quiet than what it used to be back in July so it's coming up to a year since that Amino was created, the Urban Sims X one. But it's really, really great, and I recommend you go and watch that. My links are down below in the description if you'd like to go ahead and join it. And yeah, so it's on the Amino app, but some apps which are more popular, like the Sims Amino app, have over 300,000 members in there. We actually have our own individual app, which is great. And yeah, so I'm a curator on the Sims Amino app and a leader on the X7 Sims X1. And yeah, so we're just finishing off these last finishing touches here. I'm just doing, well, we're on the outside here. I did a little porch area here with some plant pots, just those smaller ones. And I also did kind of like a barbecue and seating area on the secondary porch on the side. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Make sure in the comment section down below you let me know about what you thought of this build. Head over to SpringSims' Twitter to go ahead and see the original photo for what I worked from today, so you can go ahead and try it for yourself. Make sure you go ahead and download this from the gallery. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1. Leave a like, share and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!